Good morning, friends. Back again. This is Hermeet for you. And I hope you remember, like, we started way back with the PHP part, and then wherein we were talking about some sort of full stack development while working with PHP. And in my first video, I just gave you the basic, or you can say overview, wherein the person who doesn't know about PHP, so they can get the basic understanding of PHP very well. And in my second video, like of PHP, like full stack development, so I talk about something uh, uh, wherein like if you want to start your PHP for the first time, so you can get the idea that in terms of softwares, in terms of any requirement, in terms of how we can scale down the very basic level of program out there in a PHP, right? So I have like the screen which is in front of you. It is, you remember the screen, so it is mainly the dashboard of your XAMPP server. And precisely here onwards, if you remember, we start working on your PHP file. The file which we have given is your test.php. So let me remove this and then test.php. Yes, it's working pretty fine. Yeah. So this is like very basic program, and I'm sure you guys are aware of that. For this, we need to uh, trigger your XAMPP servers Apache over here, right? Because that's our main element which is working behind. Let me move further. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio Code. See, you can do development with your plain notepad as well, right? But while working with Visual Code, Visual Studio Code, so you will feel bit more professional. Um, you will feel more easier, and the very good part is you better understand, and as it is uh, uh, there in the market for quite long period. So people who are into React, who are into Angular, PHP, who are into some JavaScript, HTML as well, right? So they were into this Visual Studio Code actually, right? So it's very easy to work on. So let me open up the same file which we created out there in Visual Studio Code, sorry, in a Notepad earlier. So let me jump to D drive. If remember, then we were having your XAMPP server. Then we can move to htdocs. I hope remember this is the main location wherein um, we have to save the file related to your PHP, right? So if you have particular folder, so just create a folder. Like in this, I have created a folder called card, and then there I can save all the different PHP files. So it's purely your calls, but if you remember, we created the file way back that is test.php. So if I'll open up this, so this was the same content which we worked upon, right? So I'm sure like when you were working on PHP this particular file last time, so you start thinking, oh, that is it we don't want to use HTML or so. See, to be very frank, like it while working with PHP, it will be a blend between your HTML as well as PHP, right? So precisely, I would say when you're working in a PHP, so you should go with some sort of handshaking between HTML, your JavaScript, your PHP, your if you are looking for some sort of background operation and all that, fine, you have to go with some sort of Ajax as well, right? I'll let you know what is about Ajax and all that. That is later in some other sessions. But let's focus it like if you have to figure out HTML within your PHP, right? Right. So, or you can say how PHP can be embedded within your HTML document also, right? Fine. So we'll talk about this particular the same piece over here. Now let's try for one thing. Like you remember that while working with HTML, how to go with that? Let me plot that. So it is HTML, right? Then we have to go with ending of HTML, right? And then let's say I'm having body tag. Let's say this is HTML section, like that, right? Somewhat this way. And let's say later I'm closing this particular piece by this way as well. As far as my body is concerned, you can see here is my HTML's body part, wherein within that body part, I'm just putting up this PHP within the same itself, right? And if I'll talk about from HTML head perspective, yes, I can have the similar way the way we had earlier. So means head tag would be the title tag, let's say my first HTML plus PHP demo, and let's say I'm closing my title tag as well, right? So you can see, fine, we have separate like head tag and we have separate body tag within your HTML file also, right? So I'm just saving the file by Control S simply, and then I'm moving back to your browser and I'm just refreshing it, right? You can see from here, that's the best part. Nobody can judge somehow that where is HTML, where is PHP. See, that is the beauty of working with PHP and HTML also, right? So you can say, no, might be you start thinking that how we can proceed further. See, what I'll suggest is you can plot the basic HTML first, then start drafting the PHP part wherever you want. That's it. So means what I mean to say, let me clarify more. Let's say I'll copy this, I'll put it across body tag, and let's say this time I'm saying, let's say the value is, let's say, my name. Now you might be surprising, what is my name? See, we are planning to declare a variable within your PHP section, right? So let's talk about that. Uh, if you need to declare a variable in PHP, how we can do that particular piece within here also, right? So let's talk about in this example itself, like, so how we can declare a variable. So let me plot with this. Let's say dollar my name equals to, let's say I'm saying Ramit, right? Now, what will happen in this case? So before this HTML, I'm saying please plot this particular execution of a PHP, wherein first I'm declaring a variable called my name and I'm initializing with Hermit, and then I'm saying echo. We all know what is echo, to display anything message, any particular message onto the screen. So we are saying this, the value is the variable my name's value. So it will say the value is Hermit. Fine. Now, if I'll run this, I already saved it. I'm so you might be thinking that what would be the reason on all that. So let's go back. So this by this way we can say fine. This is the way we can see the errors right on the while working with PHP. So go back. So you actually you declared the variable pretty very well. You initialized it also. But see, when you are accessing the same variable, are you using dollar? No. Go for it. Number one. Right. Let me save. Let me go back. Let me refresh. No, still we are not getting. See, the very simple is the reason is here we are trying to initialize some string value. Here again the your string value. Let's try to have concatenation with comma. Let me save this. Let me go back. See, fine. So the idea is I can directly show my variable with this comma and this quite easily. But why I shown it the incorrect way so that at least we'll get the idea. Fine. Why or sorry, how we can get the errors there in your PHP. And if you have to make some changes in that, we can do quite easily. Control S and then go back to your browser, refresh it. You'll get the reflection quite quickly. Fine. So this is I believe like this would be the simplest way to plot your usage of uh, PHP, HTML, again PHP, right? So guys, I'm 100% sure you'll get much more clarity how we can plot the basic HTML along with PHP implementation while working with your full stack development in PHP. Fine. So thanks guys. If you have any queries, so please drop me your query there in the comment section and I'll come back with your some better interaction between HTML and PHP pieces, right? Thanks. Thanks a lot, guys.